Well, you've done it. You've made it through another section of 7 videos. Congratulations. Today is day 56, and today I want you to consider the following question. Who do you want to be? I know it's simple, right? But why am I asking you that today? Because here's what I want you to do. I want you to start thinking about creating a compelling vision of who it is you want to become. Because here's the deal. You know, sometimes we want to achieve some sort of thing, or we want to become a type of person that interacts with life in some amazing way. And I'm speaking more specifically about who you want to be as a human. Not just what you want to do for work or how much money you want to have or what car you want to drive. All important things should be part of your vision of your future. I want you to create a compelling vision of who you want to be as a human. How kind do you want to be? How much gratitude do you want to express? How often do you want to serve? How many times do you want to make people smile? What would you hope people would say about you if you were to die? Not in like a morbid way, but what's your legacy? Who do you want to be in this world? I want you to create a compelling vision of who that is. And even as you listen to me talk, I want you to think about that. The reason why I want you to think about that is the result for today is actually not even going to be to write down that compelling vision. It's going to be to write down a response to a different question that has to do with that vision. So as I'm talking for the next minute or so, I want you to be thinking about that. Who do I want to become? How often do I want to serve? How kind do I want to be? What do I want people to think of me? Not for selfish reasons, right? It's not, oh, I just want people to think I'm like super handsome. It's not that, right? It's like, how would I want to be remembered? As someone who was kind, as someone who gave, as someone who did charity, as someone who was a hard worker, as somebody who loved a lot. How do you want to be remembered? What's the vision of you? Who do you want to become? Imagine what life would feel like if you were that person. Because that person is who we're going to focus on today. See, the reason why we're talking about this is, you know what? It's hard sometimes to kind of think about who we want to become or who we want to be if we don't really feel good about who we are right now. See, the only way we can get there is to feel good about who we are right now. We need to increase self-esteem, right? That's why we're focusing on self-love and self-esteem and self-confidence, so we can go and create results like the result of being who we want to be. For the last 6 days, you've been doing things to make yourself feel awesome. So today's a good day to think about who you want to be, because hopefully you've had 6 days of feeling amazing and getting these kicks of dopamine where you're going, actually, you know what? This is awesome. I am awesome. I feel good. I cleaned up that space. I had the gratitude moment. I appreciated myself. I got this amazing feedback from 3 people. I sent out feedback telling others I appreciate them, and usually people I compare myself to, I said, you're awesome, thank you for your example. And you should have done a bunch of stuff this week that just makes you feel good, which means you're going to have an increase in self-esteem. So because you have an increase in self-esteem, now's the time to think about who you want to be forever. And now I want you to pull back and think about, could you be that person in 30 days? Before we finish the 100-day results challenge, could you be that person? The answer is yes. If you want to be more kind and more loving and more charitable, if you want to be more forgiving, if you want to be more humble, all of that is, you are capable of all of that right now. But rather than feeling like you have to be it right now, let's give you 30 days. So here is the result for today. I want you to ask yourself this question, and then I want you to write down a response to it. Here's the question. If I could be that person, right, sort of that vision of you, if I could be that person by this time next month, what would have to happen in order for me to become that person in the next 30 days? Okay, this is a great question. Assume you can become it because you have an increase in self-esteem, you know you can create results. Assume you can become that compelling vision of you. And then ask yourself the question and write down the response. What would I have to do in the next 30 days if that is possible? If that could be possible, if I actually really could be that person in 30 days, what would I have to do? You know what? Here's what I know is going to happen for you. You're going to receive answers. You're going to know intuitively like what you would have to do today or tomorrow to become that person you want to become. So, that's the result for today. At the conclusion of these 7 videos, your increase in self-love and self-esteem, thus increasing results, I want you to think about that compelling vision of who you want to be as a human. And then realize it's not that far away. If you could already be that individual 30 days from now, what would have to happen in the next 30 days to be that individual? You can do it because you're amazing and you're capable and you're incredible. And you know what? I love you. And I'll see you on the next video.